Good morning, Lana Scott Lighthouse. Um, guys, this is a um, angel message for anyone that considers himself a light worker. Air signs: Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And what we have here is what we have seen by you and unseen by you. Okay, and I've been doing everything a little bit differently, just trying to see how I can best guide you. So everything's been a little different. Like the earth signs had more a full layout. With you guys, I did a rune pull to get more in-depth messages from the Law of Efficiency card and the Hold Your Center card in the Light Workers Oracle deck. Okay, and this reading really makes sense, and it makes sense for me. I'm hoping it will resonate with some of you. If take what resonates. Don't worry about what doesn't resonate. So the first card we have is Divine Grace, Law of Efficiency. And what this is talking about is it's time that your life becomes easier. That it's time for you to walk the way of divine grace, having trust, simplicity, acceptance. Okay? You don't have to try to make things happen. You can, act without attachment and trust that all is going to be as it is meant to be. So surrender your struggles, because now you're going to allow life to serve you with love and kindness. This is the most efficient use of your energy and will lead to the best results. So it's talking about working smarter rather than working harder. Allow energy to carry you to shore instead of you swimming the whole way with your efforts alone. You know what I'm saying? Don't make your journey even harder. It's like planting a seed at the right time, so nature will help it bloom in the spring, rather than trying to plant during the dead of winter. Okay? So you need to learn to listen. So this means tuning into what feels right or wrong at any given time. Be in the moment. Okay? Sometimes you're going to want to push forward, yet your intuition's always going to know and tell you when you need to rest. So sometimes you're going to want to hide from a challenge. Yet, in your bones, it's time to step up and shine with boldness, despite the fear you may feel. And guys, I've been feeling this as well, because the universe does have, natural cycles and timing that will assure you that every dream that you dare to dream will come to fruition in its own course. And it's not always going to look exactly like you expect it to be, because sometimes there's twists and turns, right? But if you've set it in motion with your intention, karmic will always, ensure that it finds some kind of expression of that. Okay, so you have to learn, heal, and hear, feel, and sense, how the currents of life work with them rather than pushing against them. So this is all about common sense, allowing yourself to be helped, not making things more difficult for yourself than they have to be. So, say you go into a room where there's a whole bunch of people and everybody is open and receptive to your efforts, right? And you can either spend time with them, or you could expand the same amount of time and energy by arguing with that one person who's not disinterested, who only wants to, they have no interest in doing so, but you spend the whole time arguing with someone that, trying to get them to understand and receive, even though they don't really have no interest in doing so. Do not waste your time with people that have no interest in, they just want to tell you why you're wrong. Guys, don't listen to those people. They're just going to be a hindrance in how you are efficient and how you're using your energy as a light worker, a mystic, a seer, a psychic medium, using your psychic dreams, remote viewing, however it is that you're being guided by your instincts and your angels and your spirit guides to carry on your mission. Don't waste time with people that, you're going to spend all your time arguing, trying to get them to see your point of view. They're just going to be time, taking up your time and energy, when instead focus on the people that do see your worth and value, that do see what you have to offer. Okay? That's what my spirit guide told me this morning. And sometimes we do tend to do that. We do tend to, try to convince somebody of why we want to do something. Guys, don't waste time with that. If they don't see your point of view, drop it, let it go. It's just not worth wasting your time on it, especially if they're not open to be receiving. So that, I think, is a good point to bring up. So work with the law of efficiency. It's not bad to choose the harder way. It can be a great learning experience. But with this, you're being encouraged to explore easier, more graceful ways of being. Because right now, there's maybe a helping hand. Maybe your angels are talking to you more, your spirit guides. So this is, the law of efficiency is the path of least resistance. You have to find strength that comes from letting go and trusting the universe knows what it's doing. All right? It takes, spiritual maturity to seed to wisdom greater than your own immediate understanding. Because then you're surfing the wave rather than swimming against all the negativity and the, against the current. So you have to work with life in its cycles rather than believe that you have to struggle and strain to be heard, loved, and rewarded and respire. So you have that maturity within you. Trust that all is going to be okay within its time, okay? So that's what is seen by you, all right? And some better understanding for you as well. And then we have the holding your center card, okay? And this card is talking about, have you been rushing out? And it's kind of sort of the same thing, but it's giving you kind of like a different perspective on it. Have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace? So now you're being told you need to strengthen your own energy, your own boundaries, to find your ground and to anchor your feet. Let yourself experience with quiet certainty as you hold your own center with commitment, courage, and consciousness. Okay? So you're learning to trust your own instincts. Take your own journey. Don't compare your life path to somebody else's. And guys, I think we've all been there. I think we've all done that at times where we've said, well, my channel's not going as fast as someone else's. That's been me. There's been times where, well, gee, she's progressing faster in this class than I am. She got an A+ and I just got a C+. You know what I mean? You can't compare your journey to someone else's. I think that bears repeating, because a lot of times we do compare ourselves to others, but they've never been in your shoes. It's just like trying to explain to someone what you did in a similar situation, and they're like, well, I didn't do that. I did this and it worked better for me. And they like kind of hold it over your head. Well, it's the same difference. You didn't walk in their shoes, they didn't walk in yours, but you both went through something similar, but you both came to a different conclusion of what worked for you and what didn't, right? So don't force that, okay? So, and that could be a pattern too, guys, So don't be disheartened or distracted by comparisons or judgments. The earth needs your particular light, and it can only come from you. There is no one else like you. And if you've been listening to my channel for any amount of time, in my beginning videos, I pointed that out a lot. Because when I was growing up, I was always told I was weird, I was different because I was hyperactive, right? And I would always compare myself to other people. Until I had a moment when, after I moved to North California, I had a girl that always talked about their Cadillac, their house, their boat. And I was like, well, wait a minute. My mom and dad were both hard workers too, just like hers were. And we had boats. My dad was a commercial fisherman. Guys, we had 3 boats compared to their 1 sport boat, okay? They always talked about their Cadillac. Well, they had a Cadillac and a Jeep. Well, my mom had a car. She had a Toyota. My dad had a Chevrolet, okay? So we had 2 cars as well, all right? She always talked about how nice their house was. Well, we had a little mundane 2-bedroom house, but we owned 2 houses across the street that were rental houses. We owned one on the corner of the neighborhood. So we had 4 houses in the neighborhood that we owned, okay? And one on the Point in Biloxi. If you ever look at Biloxi, there's an area that's called the Point, and that was where my grandmother lived. But we had a house over on Maple Street that was a rental as well. So I always let her make me feel bad because they had this nice house that was all decorated. But guys, we owned 4 rental houses in the house we lived in, and I always let her make me feel inferior. Don't let someone make you feel. You can. What is it that Roosevelt said? She said, no one can let you feel inferior without your consent. So guys, be mindful of that, okay? So people that are different and unique are not often understood or acknowledged and valued when they were kids. They are encouraged to conform, to change, to be other than their true self, to be loved. That becomes a pattern. So, if you find yourself doing that, this is time for you to love and honor yourself. You don't need to change for another. You certainly don't need to change for the divine. Instead, you're being encouraged to distill your essence, to become even more of you. Hold your center. Don't be rattled by any other intimidation, confrontation, doubt, jealousy, or fear. Hold your center means you accept your innate value and worth. Your right to exist and thrive and accept love, right, that created you and as you in order to fulfill your divine destiny, because your destiny is not going to be like someone else's. You have to see your worth and value. And this feels like a broken record here lately to me because I've been repeating that one a lot. And I've repeated it a lot in the past as well. Guys, every one of us has a purpose. Every one of us has a reason for why we're here. And if someone else doesn't see your light, that's their issue. It's not yours, and don't make it yours. Okay, that's another pattern that if you see yourself doing that, you need to break. Because you are uniquely you. They broke the mold when they made you. There's never someone exactly like you. Even twins have different DNA or have different... like there was a set of twins, y'all have heard me talk about this before. They had their DNA and they thought they'd all come back the same. Wrong. When the egg split, they all each had different, like one had Sweden and European, and another one had European and something else in her, and the other one had a little bit of those two, and then something else the other two didn't have. And that was 3 triplets that were identical twins. Okay? So keep that in mind. Even if you're a twin or a triplet, you are not DNA-wise exactly like your 2 brothers, your 2 sisters, your sister and your brother, depending on how. Well, I think it would all be girls or all be boys if it's identical twins. So keep that in mind. You are unique, no matter what anyone tells you. Okay, so this oracle, this one here is bringing you confirmation that you're on the right path. You don't have to collapse into fear, doubt, okay, or make others feel more comfortable. It's not selfish to be strong. You know, you can hold yourself in high esteem, be gentle and loving to others while refusing to accept any behavior, belief, or attitude that would tear you down or cast you into doubt or self-hatred, okay? Because you are unique and no one else you can have similar traits with other people, you know, like me and Daniel finish each other's sentences sometimes, but we're 2 different individuals. I'm on one side, he's on the other. We have a lot in common, but we're both unique individuals. You are unique. Okay, so that's what this card is telling you. You're here to shine your light, to be a lighthouse for others. Okay, and a lighthouse doesn't ask permission to shine. It stands still, shines faithfully, and those who are guided to it by its light are guided to safety. So don't lose faith in yourself, your beloved soul. You know who you are. Honor your inner beauty, your personal boundaries. You need to feel, we all need to feel safe in our ability to say no, as much as we need to know that we'll say yes when your heart guides you to do so. So be true to you, okay? So I am going to do, I'm not going to do another card layout with this, guys. I pulled runes and I started channeling. So I did my journaling. So the extended is going to be some journaling with, and I'm just going to read it to you guys. But there is an extended to this. So this is for the air signs, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. It will resonate with everybody. But if you're a light worker and have light worker energies, this is your message for today. Now, guys, I'm gonna do the extended. So this is part 1 for you guys, and it's gonna be different for everybody. Lighthouse.